start. Like I said, I don't know who's more excited, me or the viewers out here, because when I tell you that when you agreed to come on my show, I was stoked, and I'm going to use that word because I was excited. For me to have such a legendary person that has been like you're an innovator, and someone, in my magnitude of, learning the industry and in music, I was like, wow.
Hmm.
I am floored and I am honored. So, for all the viewers, this is Level Up with Katina, and I have one legendary, phenomenal R&B artist, dancer, actor, film, and more. And I have no words for this man. So I'm going to welcome Mr. Grady Harrell to this show because I can't wait to hear what we have in store for his journey, the innovation, how he's moved this industry, the ups, the downs. We are ready. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. All right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you.
You
Thanks
are
for having me,
welcome.
Katina. I appreciate you.
Wow. And so tell the viewers, so like for me as well, tell me, how did you get started in this industry? Like where are you from? First of all, where are you from? How did you,
Yeah.
where'd you grow up at and all those things?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
All my life, grew up in South Central, and then we moved to West LA, and now everybody's in San Fernando Valley, but I'm here in Las Vegas. And I just had humble beginnings. I started, my mother was always into music. She was always singing and rehearsing with some group in the living room. And my grandmother was an opera singer. So music was, it
Oh,
was in
wow.
our genes. And I heard, you really gotta hold on. I heard that. And I'm like, who is this singing this, right? So I found out it was Smokey Robinson. And I was 7 years old. And so I just went and I learned all of his stuff from 7 to 12 years old. I knew all of his stuff, and I used to sing in the neighborhood to people and make money and go buy another record to to just learn all my Smokey Robinson chops and all his songs. And that's how I got started. Then at 12 years old, the Jackson 5 came on the scene,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was wild. I said, wow, young kids are doing what I want to do. I'd already been singing 5 years. And that's how I got started. Started a group. My mom, first I had three guys. We were called the Young Gents. And we did all the talent shows in junior high school and stuff like that. And then my mother told me to put Raquel in the group. She's my sister,
Okay.
1 year older than me. And then we started a group, and my uncle Don, he named it Papa's Results. And
Wow.
it was a crazy ride for 7 years. We played you know, talent shows and after proms and Mavericks Flat and the total the total experience.
Uh-huh.
And we played all these wonderful um, clubs around LA. And then I guess Carolyn Franklin, Franklin's sister, she saw us performing and she told Aretha. So a lot of people don't know this, but we had to do a showcase for Aretha for uh, her and Carolyn to manage us. And
Wow.
and Aretha said yes. I have a one of those old articles in the newspaper
Yeah.
that were all that day, and Aretha was there, and it was just wonderful to just hang at her house with her son Eddie in Encino, California. It was crazy, and when she married Glenn Turman, I think it was 1979,
Yeah.
78. We sang at her reception at the Beverly Hills Hotel with a big orchestra. First time we sang with an orchestra. Um, and Gene Page was the director of the orchestra. And then after us, her favorite group came on, the Four Tops. So that was just a thrill to us kids. It was crazy.
There. So Aretha Franklin, so from 7
Yeah.
to 12.
Well, no, we were a little older when we signed with Aretha.
Yeah.
I was probably 17 at the time, and my sister Raquel was like 18, and the other guys were all like the same age. So I was 16 or 17 when we signed with Aretha.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful experience just going to her house, watching her just play the piano. Now that she's gone, and it's just I go back on those times with her, and even though we never got a record deal out of it, just the time that I spent with her and her son Eddie and Clarence
Yeah.
and Kelp, it was just a wonderful experience being at her house. So I have those fond memories.
Wow. And what was it like with her? Like, so when you guys came, now, was it your brothers, you and your brothers, or was it like other?
No, it was just it was me, um, uh, my brother-in-law. He married my sister eventually, Brian Cox, my sister Raquel Harrell, Gilbert Edmond, and Madison Lowry. So it was five of us at the time.
Okay.
And we was just kicking it, doing all kind of things. Until my sister got the call after we were together about 6 or 7 years. Uh, we put out some singles. You can hear them on YouTube. We did a remake of "Love Makes the World Go Around,"
Oh my
and we
gosh.
had this single called "Sister Sheila" that
Oh,
did good over on the West Coast. And we used to open up for the Whispers, and it's just so many things that Jeffrey Daniel and Jody Watley went to high school with me at Dorsey.
what?
So that's a whole nother story. They asked me to be a part of Shalimar after Gerald Brown dropped out. But we'll get into that later.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
after my sister got a call to perform with Diana Ross, background with Diana, then we kind of like disbanded as a Pop of Result group. So he left me as a solo act. And my sister went on the road and she ended up being with Diana for like 13 years.
Wow.
And it's crazy.
That's crazy. Wow.
So when Diana received her palace like 1980 for 30 days, I would just go the whole 30 days and stay with my sister and go to every show. Just to see.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
At the side of the stage.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to worry about the seat. So I stayed right at the side of the stage watching the whole show. And Diana was cool. It was so cool.
Wow.
That was one part I was so proud of my sister. And so she met a Dutch husband over in Holland, and she's been living in Holland since 1989.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's doing her thing over there. She's performing at the stage show over there. I go over there sometimes to sing with her. Duets and stuff.
That is amazing. And so
Yeah.
when you go back to, let's go back a little bit to, you said your mom. So your mom was in orchestra, like, was she in different like R&B groups, or she just mainly did
Well,
just that?
recently she was with this group that was called Friends of Distinction. They
Okay.
rehearsed in my living room. Before that came out, though, she had got out of the group, got pregnant with my brother, and then they hired Jessica Cleaves.
Okay.
And Jessica Cleaves was with Earth, Wind & Fire first on the very first album, and then she got with Friends of Distinction. But it was music always around. My uncles, Don played bass, Marcus Stanley played drums. We used to rehearse as Pop of Results in my grandmother's living room. My grandmother sang opera, so we'd go to her little opera performances. It's music was always around, and that's how we started. So my mom, she's still doing it, playing her little piano, but she reads music. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful. So you mentioned, your mom has dementia, correct?
Yeah, she's had some onset of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so does her ability, like, does that really kind of enhance some of her childhood, like remembering, like playing on the piano and things like that?
Well, I think it's a muscle memory for her to play the
Okay.
piano, because hers hasn't gotten that bad yet. So she sits on the piano, reads her little music like she's been doing all our lives,
Ugh,
and then play piano, and that's cool to get her playing in there. I'm like, well, that's cool because I had the social worker come by and they said that it's good for her to do that because
yes.
it's good for the brain. So, yeah. Yeah, man.
Wow, this is like phenomenal. And
Hmm.
so let me ask you this question. So I saw back 1992, and I'm going to tell you, Michael Jackson, he was me growing up. You know, I had the glove trying to sing like him, got the jacket and things like
Yeah,
that. When I tell you that
yeah.
man is a legend all to himself, like what is your
Man, love that.
intake on Michael Jackson? Man, tell me, you did what was it? You were chosen by Jermaine Jackson to play Jackie
Yes,
Wilson. Tell us a little bit
yes.
about that one. I'm curious on this one.
Well, you got to realize that all my life, I was 12 when they came out. Every time they came to Los Angeles at the Forum or at the Hollywood Bowl, I was there. Me and my
Yeah.
sister was there because, we were Jackson 5 fanatics like everybody else, and they were our age. So that was crazy. And,
Wow.
we did all their songs in our shows. So growing up, loving the Jacksons, buying every album that they ever had.
Right.
I met Michael twice in my whole life, but he never came to the set of the Jacksons, An American Dream. Everybody
Oh,
else came to the set. Michael never came to the set. Um, but uh, it was crazy every time I'm in their presence, whether it's Jackie or either one of them. I've been in Jackie's presence. Jermaine's more than anybody. But I've been around Jackie and all of them. They all came to the set and they're all
yeah.
very, very laid back and cool. But it was incredible doing that miniseries. I just was taking my kids on the audition. Because my manager, Tony Jones, he said, they're doing this movie. I heard you have all these talented boys and
Yeah.
girls. So I went to the auditions and they kept calling the kids back on call them back or whatever it is. Call back.
Yeah.
So I would take them on call back after call back. Then that last one, they said, we want to see maybe little Grady playing Jackie at this age. Want to see Anthony maybe playing Michael, and on, Cheyenne,
Wow. It's
Jacob.
amazing. It's
And we
amazing.
want to see you. I'm like, see me? I didn't even audition. They said, well, this is the casting director talking. So what Jermaine said, you look a lot like Jackie Wilson. Do you know any of his tunes? So I lied and said yes.
Hey, you know?
I lied. And so I kind of knew, I kind of knew that. But I didn't know how to sing like Jackie. So
Yeah.
I just went down there, your love, listen. I just sang it like me.
Yes.
And it wasn't until, well, if you listen to the miniseries, I'm singing that just like Grady was singing. I didn't find that Jackie Wilson voice until a year after that. When it aired, people started calling me all around the country to do Jackie Wilson tributes.
Really?
It's crazy. I didn't even know tribute artists made that much money. But I'm like, tribute? So then I had to learn all of this catalog.
Right.
And
Oh
that's
my
how I got into
gosh.
doing tribute acts.
That is amazing. So I'm gonna while we're actually doing this, I'm gonna read some of the comments from the viewers
Mm-hmm.
on here. And so Lo Hayes, Realty Services,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
she
yeah. That's
said
my
you're one of
sister.
the
They're my
hardest
favorite
working
girl.
people that she knows, and he did
Yeah,
that in American Dream, Jackie Wilson. And so that's
yeah.
phenomenal. It's
Yeah, buddy,
phenomenal.
I love you. She's I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay.
So she is as well. And she's always supporting our show. She comes to Las Vegas, all
Wow.
the way from Los Angeles. And all the friends, they always come out and support me doing my show, whatever I'm doing. So that's my spiritual sister right there.
That's amazing. You know, when you have, a group of followers or supporters that really, sometimes you get the ones that they're here for a season and, they're,
Yeah,
here and there. And that's just how the industry works. But to have
yeah.
that loyal support and just like being
Mm-hmm.
that sounding board for people, it just lifts you up. It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
amazing. But I tell you, when I tell you I'm stoked on here, it's like I'm talking to Grady Harrell, this is like phenomenal because all my
Man.
life, I've seen you in some of those things, and I'm like, wow, like he is like, what is this? And to actually see you here today, it's on a
Yeah.
whole nother level.
Oh,
So I
thank
want to
you.
say thank you for being like that true, person that not only are you here and and you're here talking with talk show hosts and things like that, but you're giving back for that, and we
Yeah.
appreciate that because a lot of people don't do that. They get here and then they're like, but for us it means a lot because you're like an idol for me and a lot of more people, so it's amazing, like it's
You know what?
amazing that you're here.
Along with what you're saying, when I had the record deal for RCA Records, I used to hear that a lot from the program directors at our radio stations. And I've always been this way, just very social, but I would, it's crazy. Back in '89, I had to go promote Sticks and
Yeah,
Stones.
yeah,
My first single coming off of that album, Come Play With Me album with RCA. And I tell you, I went to so many radio stations. It was one hard thing to do. Like, you literally have to sell yourself to the radio stations as see what your personality is about, and then they talk about your songs, and then in the interim of them mentioning that, they would say, "Well, we had so and so here, and their personality stunk like they really didn't want to hear. You
yeah,
have to be there early in the morning. Then 9 times out of 10, you have to perform in that city in conjunction with the radio station
yeah,
just to make your sell your song." And so they they said a lot of the big stars, after they got over, they didn't want to do it anymore. They didn't
oh
want to sing.
wow,
They were all also big. They really didn't need the radio stations. But I've always been that way. And
that's
I just
amazing.
love talking to people like you who are doing your thing. You do your job, and I got mine to do. We can come together. It's a blessing.
It's a
So I've
blessing.
never, yeah, anybody to think they're above another person just because of the job they do, it ain't cool.
No, it's not cool at all. And so I am the real Avanti 44 said you are a very talented and great person to know.
Oh, yeah, Vante. Yep. Another one of my spiritual sisters. I
Wow.
love you, Vante. Yeah. She's
It's
the
a
same, too. She's
yes,
the
it's
same.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
in this music industry, so when you look at like the music innovation, so where you started from back in your era, and now you're looking at 2025 and everything is just like, when I tell you it's so different from what, 70s, it's so different from what I've been seeing. Tell me like,
Hmm.
how does that shape like, you're out there now, I mean, you're like phenomenal out there. You're still like legendary status out here. So how do
Hmm.
like the things that you do now compared to what you did back then, like give us your perception of like what is this shaping our society right now?
Well, as far as the society, um, we know it's gone from bad to worse. When I was a kid up
Yeah,
until right now, it's, but the Bible prophesied about that.
yeah,
They know that the Bible says we're living what the Bible calls the last days of
right,
the system thing that's ran by none other than Satan the devil. He's running it all. And so if you have a clear description of that in your mind, you don't get surprised. We know these things are going to happen
right,
before Jehovah allows his son, Jesus Christ, to step in and
right.
fix everything. So right now, all I do, Katina, is work, but the main thing is preaching the good news of the kingdom, uh, kingdom or government. Jesus Christ is the king or president of that kingdom, and he's the one that's going to solve all mankind's problems really soon. So
Absolutely.
it's getting worse. From when I was a kid back in the '70s, so I'm not surprised at what I see on going on around the world. We can see it firsthand now, as you know, on Instagram, on
Oh,
all we can see it like none other. We didn't have that in the '70s
right.
or the '80s, but it's incredible how what's happening now ties right into Bible prophecy. And so the music thing, I just continue to do what I've always done, Katina. I don't care about having a record deal, or I'm just so happy that I never made it really famous, because I'd probably be dead.
Oh,
I'm telling you,
wow.
I would. Because that lifestyle, getting into that lifestyle, it keeps you away from from your service to your
Okay.
God, because you're so busy placating the record companies, the managers, the
Yeah.
agents. Those people want to make money off of you, and I just thought I wanted to be a big star when I was 7 years old. I wanted to be Smokey Robinson.
Oh, I love him. Oh my
It's like,
gosh.
yeah. And
Wow.
I think up until about 25 years ago, I still wanted to be a big famous star. I mean, you always got that drive. But I
Right.
tell you,
Right.
what I do now is beautiful because I'm still doing what I started off doing, performing. That's what I do. I still record, but the recording business is, it's I mean, it's cool, but I don't want to get out there on a long tour and get in trouble
Right.
spiritually, and I won't be. My conscience will be all messed up. So it's dangerous out there.
Yeah.
The womanizing, the alcohol. I've never done drugs my whole life, but sometimes you can drink too much as well,
Yeah.
and that's why I stopped drinking almost 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, because it could get out of hand. So I'm like, I just stopped it. I'm like, all it was doing was putting weight on me anyway.
Yeah.
After I stopped drinking, I lost 27 pounds.
Oh,
Okay, it's nothing but sugar to me.
sugar.
I just love, and it messes with my voice.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I love. I love singing. Like last night, like I was telling you, I did a show, and it's just beautiful to see the people happy when you're singing in front of them.
Yeah.
In Malibu, now I'm way back in Vegas. So it never changes singing in front of an audience. That's what I do. And I
Wow.
learned how to sing. I still go back and look at the greats like James Brown and Michael and
Temptations.
Temptations, all those great acts we grew up with. I
Yeah.
still look at them like, okay, you forgot to do that tonight, or whatever. But I love singing, and I still
Wow.
have friends asking me to record their demos and stuff, which I do that. But there's no money in the recording side,
Right.
not now. But you can get the money when you pay your rent doing shows.
That's
So that's
right.
what I do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, take us on a journey of like backstage. Like, what do you do to prepare to get yourself ready for these shows, even when they're ongoing? Like, sometimes I know artists, they go back to back to back to shows. Like, how do you mentally prepare yourself to get ready for this?
That's a good question. It's so much fun backstage, unless even when I'm doing a solo performance myself. Um, but you still got the band back there. Everybody's cracking up. Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
It's like it's a sober party backstage. If everybody's got the jitters
Yeah.
and and we're all cracking jokes. But with me, I do my vocal exercises at home before I go to the theater, right?
Oh, okay.
So I won't be irritating people going,
I know. I do those too.
yeah. So I don't do that in front of that. But by the time I get there, you can talk your voice out, talking and laughing with these fools in the band. So I don't talk much, and it's still butterflies. You get nervous before you go on
Yeah.
stage. So it's a party backstage, literally. And then after the
Wow.
show, the party continues, but it's time to go home and go to bed. Take a
Right.
shower and go to bed. Because it's a lot of work on stage, dancing and sweating, and
Right.
especially if you got, like, I go to Canada and I do shows back to back to back. The party days after the after party for people like me, it's over.
It's over.
So
10 o'clock, I'm going to bed. If the show's over at 11, I'm going to bed at 11:31. I don't even care. Right. And so,
body going. Yeah,
right. Now, is
yeah,
that tough on your body? Like, so when you and I've seen like your history of like when you're going to what like some of your Motown soul shows and things like that, but you're like back to back, like you're on the road, like you're not stopping. And so, like,
yeah.
how does that, when you talk about body wise, like you said, you have to
Hmm.
get the rest. Is that something that you prepare for? Like, do you have to do things in order to keep yourself going? Do you work out? Do you exercise? Do you do any of
Yeah,
those?
all of that. But you know what? The on stage, it looks hard to you, but I know it's muscle memory. Even the
Okay.
vocals,
Yeah.
your body knows how to do those steps you've been doing all your life. So it's muscle memory, and as long as you keep your weight down, you can do it. But the working out, you got to work out, and you start getting up there, and then it's what you eat. Like I eat five foods a
Right.
day that my mother's eating right now. It's been on the sink all day. Now she's anyway, garlic, honey, cinnamon, olive oil, and dark chocolate. And I tell you, if you Google those five foods, I've been doing it like 15 years now. If you Google garlic, honey, cinnamon, olive oil, dark chocolate, and see all
Honeys.
the beautiful things it does for your body. It's incredible. So every morning I get up, I cut up garlic,
Yeah.
literally cut it up, and I swallow it down with warm lemon water. And with honey and cinnamon, I put it in my tea. My mother and I, we drink tea every morning. Then
Yeah.
I add turmeric, ginger, and cayenne pepper with the tea. And that's that. So with the olive oil, I just pour it in a little container, sprinkle lemon juice
Yeah.
on it, and swallow it down like a good shot of that good vodka.
Gin without the juice.
Exactly. And then with dark chocolate, it's good for your heart. So I just eat that in moderation, no sugar in it. It's
Okay.
bitter, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
That's what I do every day like clockwork, even over in Canada.
So when you have back-to-back shows like that, and
Mm-hmm.
so you have to watch and you have to monitor your diet,
Uh-huh.
like when do you actually eat like a good meal? Like when you're off the road, or what do you do to maintain
No,
like the calories and
over
proteins?
well, over in Canada, they treat me so good. So what happens is we get there and sound check about 3 o'clock, right?
Okay.
Mind you, the show don't start till like 7. So then Paquette Productions, they ask us what we want to eat. They order for all of us, the singers and the musicians and the stage hands and everything. And then we eat maybe about 4:30.
Wow.
And then, yep, go on stage and I work it off. And then I make sure I don't eat nothing past when I go home.
Yeah.
I don't, you don't work it off and then go home and eat that. So, yeah, that's
Right.
how it works. So I just eat early, get it out the way. I don't eat nothing after 6 o'clock. Not me. I just I guess that's intermittent fasting or something. And then the next morning, maybe about 7 or 8, that's when I start with the garlic and stuff. And that's how I've been doing it.
Wow. Wow. So how
Yeah.
do you keep yourself motivated? Tell me that. How do you stay motivated?
Wow, girl, I just love music. I love music, and you never stop loving music. You know, all sorts of music, whether it's country, whether it's rock, R&B, anything with a melody in it,
Yeah.
it keeps me going. And I try to up my vocals. I learned from other singers. I gotta say those gospel singers are the best in the world.
Oh, yes, they are.
I mean,
They
hands
are.
down, the way they
Yeah.
doing all those riffs. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't grow up in church like that, but they got a gift of that singing. Oh my goodness! So I listen to them like Marvin with the Winans or J Moss, and I listen to their vocals. I just be trying to do some of those vocal
Yeah.
exercises, so I try to up my game with that. I
Wow.
don't just be stagnant as to my music because you listen to Motown, they wasn't singing like that.
No,
you know,
no.
they were
They was
just
like,
singing straight,
yeah.
yeah, just straight for the
Right.
pop world. They didn't want to
Yes.
scare nobody off. So, but on stage, you can then put that little riffs in your stuff.
Right.
Uh, I just try to up my game with that.
Wow. And so
Always learning.
you're always learning. And then you know
Yeah,
what? And I was on a show with Rashad Ali, the talk show creator. And one of the things
yeah,
we talked about was that innovation, but that development, and that this
yeah.
music industry is always evolving. So
Always.
when you think you've gotten here, then you got that next person that's just taking it up another notch, and you're just like,
Mm-hmm.
how did they do that? And
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
learn. And I
Yeah,
like what you
man.
said earlier, that mindset. If you think that you made it and that you're up here more than anyone else, then you got this
Mm-hmm.
not you don't have this figured out because you're always learning, you're always evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And I love your mindset with that because like a musician like myself and others out there, we want to hear those things. We want to know what can we do to improve. Now we're looking at legends like you and like, holy moly, like how's he doing? Like he's just like out here just killing it. And that's
Yeah.
and that's motivating and it's inspiring. And so for you to just give that gift of being here and sharing like, what helps, it's like you're like, I don't care, I've been there and done that, I'm here because we're
Yeah.
all in this together. And I just
Yeah.
salute you
Because
for
in the
that.
music business, as you know it, there's some ups and then
And
there's some downs.
that's
But
right.
if you keep with the performing, I mean, if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
That's
I'll,
right.
I'll tell you that. So if you continue to perform, and that's what I love to do more than anything, you're gonna always have that spark when you come out on that stage. But
Right.
if you stay off the stage for a long time, you got to learn that stuff all over again. So I never want to stop. That's my job. I chose it when I was a youngster, and I can't believe myself that I'm still doing what I did in elementary school, junior high school, and high school. I just can't believe it. Sometimes I'll look at some videos of myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
It's,
hey, dude, you're still, all my high school pals, they always like, dude, you're, do you ever get tired?
do you ever get tired? I'm gonna tell. I'm not, and this is a question that I was actually going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking at your videos, and you do tributes to like Michael Jackson, The Temptations, Diana Ross, The Supreme, Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight, and the Pips. And I just saw something recently, Luther Vandross, like you did like a tribute or something for that.
No, that was my friend Jazz, the entertainer out there. He does me.
Okay.
So I don't even touch that.
You
He
don't.
sounds just like him. He moved like him, and I just a lot of us black artists out here in Vegas, we support each other. So I'll put their
Wow.
invitations on my site to let people
Okay.
know they're out here doing something. I don't just put my own stuff on there. But so he does that. Yeah.
Wow. Well, all I want to know is how do you do it? How do you memorize? So, like some of the tributes that you've done and the moves, like if you go on your Facebook, Instagram, like you're
Mm-hmm.
dancing and singing and you're moving just like these people. Like, how do you? How much time does it take to learn the step, learn the moves, like do what you're doing and just keep going with it? It's insane.
Well, after the thing is, man, I never thought about it until after the Jackson miniseries, '92. Never thought about. I just been listening to all these cats since I was a little boy. After the Jacksons,
Yeah.
Sam Cooke opened up for me vocally, so I'm just learning the way they sing. I've always knew how to sing like Marvin or Sam
Yeah.
or not Jackie but Stevie Wonder, because how can you not listen to them? We got all these records, and there was always music around the house. So that set me up for what I'm doing now. I've been listening to
Wow.
him, so now I listen a little closely vocally. I'm like, okay, Stevie does it like that. Oh, Smokey does it like that. Oh, Marvin does it like that.
Yeah.
And then I try to fix my voice to sound just like them and to really honor them by singing their songs in the way they record them. Now the moves, the hardest move to do is the Michaels and the James Brown. I
Okay.
mean that I do one Michael song in Canada, which is "Blame It on the Boogie" with the girls behind me,
Yeah.
and that I'll be after I get off stage, I'll be like,
Oxygen. I need some oxygen.
and then I do a James Brown medley, and that is fun.
Yeah.
Some of the stages don't be slippery, and
Right.
it makes me mad. It's not like hardwood floors like it used to be back in the day. So some of those stages in Canada, it'd be like dancing on cement is not fun.
No, it's
Cement
not.
painted back,
Yeah.
black, and so that's hard to try to do those James Brown moves. But I try to do my best, and with the James and Michael, that's the hardest. Anything else, you don't have nobody dancing like they dance. You
Yeah.
got Chris Brown and you got Bruno Mars
Y-
now doing their thing, but really
Nothing.
dancers. Marvin wasn't a dancer. Smokey wasn't a dancer. Jackie Wilson was. It's fun doing him. I love, but it's muscle memory.
Yeah.
Sam Cooke definitely
Sam
wasn't a
Cooke.
dancer. He had two left feet. He said. So it's easy doing the ones who don't dance because I can
Yeah.
vocally get them out. But Jackie, James, and Michael are the things to up my game and continue to learn more of what they do and try to
Yeah.
improve it. Yeah.
Wow. And so what about international tours? Are you doing any of those? Like what is your history
Um,
there?
I'm gonna probably go to the Netherlands over there.
Okay.
They love black artists over there. Anywhere outside of the United States, they love us. In China, in Japan,
Yes.
and over there in Europe. Oh man, they love it so much, Katina. But right now, since I got moms here, I really can't go to that extensively like that. And I don't want to go, like, I tell the promoter in Canada that I really can't go no longer than 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because I don't want to put in no trouble.
Right.
It's just like, well, you go, I'm used to going to the Kingdom Hall twice a week. I'm used to going
Yeah.
out to field service, getting the door slammed in my face. No, not really, but no, most people understand. But that's what I like to do: hang out with my congregation.
Yeah.
So the music, Katina, I separate the two. My whole life is based around spiritual things now.
Okay.
And as you grow older, you become into a closer relationship with God.
Right.
And you know what's going to happen. You know He's not going to allow anybody to destroy this beautiful planet we live on.
That's right.
I always liken it to, if you owned a home, Katina, over in Beverly Hills, California, big, beautiful home, right?
Yes.
And you leased it out to people. And every 3 months, you go check on your home. And you see that they were destroying your home. Would you, number one, evict them from your home, or would you destroy the home down on top of it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You would naturally
evict
from
them.
your home.
Exactly.
So Jehovah will evict these wicked people from the face of the earth, just like He did in Noah's day.
Wow.
And it's going to happen soon. It's getting closer because there's so much damage being done now to each other. People are just hurting each other, and the food prices are going up, just like the
everything, cost of living,
yeah.
Everything. And so how do you, when you talk about separating the two, so, when you have the spiritual gift and then you have your music life, and then we look at the all the other things around it, like this little umbrella, when you look into this music industry, what would you say is the toughest thing, like for me as a musician and other people, like give us some advice on what do we need to see out there? Like, what is it that took you from where you are now to say, you know what, been there, I've done that, and I'm happy right where I'm at?
Well, Jehovah allowed me to get over. I could have been dead a few times, but wisdom. When you grow up, if you're allowed to grow up, and because you got to realize, the Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on my mother's door when I was 12 years old.
Wow.
I didn't know nothing but music for 5 years. It was already in me. So I would sit up in the Kingdom Hall and be fantasizing about being on stage. But as a young person, you're learning, even though you're fantasy, you're at those meetings. We had to be at those meetings because my mama would have whooped on us.
Right. Back in the day, they could do that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So she's raising 5 kids, 3 boys and 2 girls.
Wow.
And we're learning about the truth about the Bible. And I tell you, all my life, it stayed with me. But the music I was generating so many things musically with the record deal, my first album, Moana, and then just moving around. I can't tell you, I was just moving around, learning the industry, meeting so many different special people in the industry, and meeting most of my heroes in this business, right? But the spiritual thing was always here. And I'm like, I never let that go because I knew it was the truth, right? And I said, oh no, and I'm out here doing all kind of things against the Bible, what it says, to be a witness. I'm out here just wilding out with the girls.
Oh, wow.
And then it just sets in. At one point, you just say in your life, what have I been doing? I don't have anything. I mean, to me, spiritual things just always been in my mind. My conscience is always messed up. So it just finally set in, Katina, like, I got to search Jehovah because I got to be able to call on Him out of a pure heart.
That's right.
When these things start. When Armageddon comes, I want to be able to call on Him, and Jesus Christ will have His angels protect me and my family. So I don't care about material things. All my friends will tell you that. I used to be very rich, had a big old mansion, horses, all that kind of stuff. You're not happy. I was not happy. I said, oh my goodness, this. Wow. I had maids. I had all these kind of things. All my friends will attest to that, and it was nothing to me. I said,
wow,
because I wasn't right with Jehovah. And so I'm
Wow.
like, oh no, I got to go back to the movies
Oh,
and start progressing again spiritually. So once you balance it out, you can still work, doing your work, but once you start letting your work get ahead of your service to Jehovah, something's wrong.
that's
And so
right.
I keep it at bay.
That's
I don't
right.
want to be, yeah, it's crazy, but I love
Wow.
what I do on
Oh,
stage. But you know what? That's only 2 hours. You know, like my next show, I had one last night. I got to look at my schedule. It's but I think it's either next weekend, and a lot of them are just on weekends. Unless I go to Canada, then it's like on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and
yeah.
a Sunday. We might have 2 days off, and then again four
Yeah.
days. It's 4 days for some.
I know. You're like, I need
Man,
these 4 days off.
man, I sleep all day when I got my
Really?
time off. Oh yeah,
Wow.
4 days, and that Motown show in Canada is so wonderful with the Tonettes. It's incredible. If they come on do their thing, then they invite me on. I do my thing. Then they come back on. I get redressed, go back on.
Oh
Then
my God.
it's always tennis match. Yeah,
Wow. Now, is this the one, the Motown Soul that you're doing in September? I see you have two
yeah,
things. So yeah, I saw that with the
yeah.
Tonettes.
Uh-huh. With the Tonettes, I think it's September
24th
25th or
and
26th.
26th. Yeah,
Oh,
24th through
yeah.
26th. Yeah.
I think I fly there on the 24th, but I do two shows, 25th and 26th. I don't
Wow.
know. I gotta look at, yeah. That's
Wow.
fun. I've been doing that since 2017, and they just treat me so well. Shout out to my Canadian family. I love Pete Paquette and Paquette Productions. It's a wonderful thing out there, man. I'd love to move to Canada, but
Oh, it's
hey,
beautiful.
governments are the same all around the
Yes,
world.
they are.
So
There's no
we just do
difference. That's
no
right.
difference. It's
No
just it
difference.
seems like the people, my experience with the people in Canada, the Canadian people are so much loving. They're so much more loving, and it seems like they're a little more innocent than we are
And
over here.
non-judgmental.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. And so you're doing those. And so how do you, so when you do like your tours, how do you, are you part of that, or do you have someone that like PRs you, doing different shows, or?
No. All most 9 out of 10 things I've gotten in my whole life is word of mouth. Or
Oh,
people see me on the videos and like they hire me. I have an agent out here that books me in a couple of places in Vegas.
yeah.
But then I have a corporate company I work for. And then I met a guy who used to be in Legends in Concert. That's why I moved to Vegas during the Temptation. Well, I met one of the foremost Elvis tribute guys. His name is Dean Z. Dean Z is bad. Look him up. He's one of the baddest drum
What is
cats
his
I know.
name?
Dean Z. Deanz. Dean is he's powerful. And me and him used to share a dressing room back in like 2006,
Yeah.
2007. So this is how things happen. These people in Canada knew Dean because he was performing up there. And they said, do you know a black guy who could just do everything? And he turned them on to me. And I had a show going on the strip at the time
Yeah.
called Solid Gold Soul, which I
Yes.
played Jackie Wilson and Sam
Yes.
Cooke. I said, okay, the best thing to do is invite them to my show. Then I can state my own price, right? Which I did. So they came to the show. They're like, oh,
Wow.
I've been going to Canada ever since. The Dean Z's, I'm sorry, Pete Paquette is always putting on all kind of shows in Canada. That boy is so busy, and he's a young cat too.
Yeah.
But his mind is so old, and he does Elvis too. Pete Paquette, shout out to Pete. Um, but yeah, that's how it happened.
Wow,
Go to
old
Canada.
soul. You need, and that
Uh,
connection with people, and a lot of people, and it almost, I'll put it like this. Sometimes you got to watch the company you keep. And so, I'm very cognizant
yeah,
about, like who I connect with and in this industry, and, who I can trust and who can lead, and I'm not looking like, oh my God, I want to be the next celebrity. I care less. That's not who I am, because my goal is, even for my talk show, I do other things, is that I like you being here, you motivate us, you help us to the next level. You help us know things that we didn't know in the past. And that's just called, being grateful, of your connections and who you are. And I'm all about the real people. Like you said, if you're out there and you're here and you're there and you're drinking and partying, and you're here and you don't have that self-awareness of self, that's not the type of industry that I'm looking for. I'm looking for real, legit connections, not to like climb their, coattails or any of that. It's all about, like you said, leading the way and being an example for us. Like you're an example for me and a lot of other people, and I want to be the same for other people. But sometimes people mentally, she just want to do that because she wants to do this, and this is how this society is, and
Yeah.
it's a shame, that it's that way. It's really a shame.
Once you understand it, though, you know how to navigate your way
That's
through it.
right.
And I tell you, as you get older, you can read a character and you know who to
That's right.
fraternize with or who to stay away from.
That's right.
And that's a good thing about getting older too. You just read characters and you know if they up or if they're down.
That's
you
right.
Just stay away. If
That's
you got to
right.
do business with them, do your business and go on
And
home.
going home, and don't get caught up in all the other business, because it takes you nowhere. And that's why looking at your journey and your history and how you're leading this industry, and like you said, you came to that realization a long time ago, like, hey, you know what, I'm serving my Almighty, and I know where I need to be, and I had that, and I've done all of that. And so I'm here and I know where I'm at and that's where I'm going to be. And you're so humbled about it. Like you do your stuff and you move on. And that's, when I tell you that's like 100, that's just 100 for me. That's just 100 completely. Tell me about, so you said so you have sons. So do you do a lot of things with them or like now to today, or like tell me a little bit about your family?
Well, yeah, so I have 7 sons and 3 daughters.
Okay.
And I raised the boys to sing. The girls didn't want to. Winter was too scared and shy.
Yeah.
So Winter didn't do it, and Autumn, she's too shy. So the boys, though, they're all incredible. They're called, they've been in different groups.
Yeah.
Grady and Anthony, my 2 oldest, they were in a group with my niece, Raquel's daughter, Katina.
Okay.
And they just took on our name, Pop Results, when they were in the teens,
Wow.
early teens. Yeah, so I had them on stage with me at early ages doing a lot of things. If you listen to the Jackson miniseries, that's Anthony singing all the Michael Jackson parts from a little boy up. So
what?
Look at the credits. That's Anthony Harrell. Yeah, I was sitting right next to him, showing him how to phrase the things like, because I grew up with Mike, so I knew. So yeah, look at the credits.
Your son?
Anthony, yes. Anthony Harrell.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. So, yeah. So, anyway, I started teaching them at young ages how to sing. That's all I knew, as well as the Bible. So, they're all spiritual men as well. So, they start growing in the music. I mean, so then they got a group called Brother.
Okay.
With Grady, Anthony, JR, Cheyenne, and Jacob. And they were doing their thing. If you look up Brother on YouTube, you see all the beautiful videos on BRUTHA.
Okay.
And then for whatever reason, they decided to go in separate ways. And Jake and Papa, they're still doing their thing. Jake and Papa are brilliant. And I can't believe how they've grown. And my son Papa, he shout out to Papa, he's got a clothing line called Real Ones Still Exist, Rose. And they're just incredible. Their music, if you look up on YouTube, iTunes, all platforms, you can see since them and their brothers decided to just take a break from each other, Jake and Papa have put out about 11 projects.
Oh, wow.
And they're all on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff. So they're always working on their music. Grady and Anthony, they're always performing live. Yeah, they perform live, and they did a show last night over in I think they were in Denver, Colorado, doing a show, Grady and Anthony.
Oh, wow.
This
JR, amazing.
Yeah, it's just
full
just
circle.
Creative. Yeah, it's a creative thing. When I see them creating, I'm like, wow. You know, I'm
Yeah.
mesmerized by my own kids sometimes. You know,
Well,
as
you
they're
know, they
making
learned. They
music.
learned from the best,
Yeah,
you know. And let me ask you
yeah.
this, you know, since it's your kids,
Hmm.
how so mentally, and you know, us as kids, you know, we're always like, oh my God, my parents. How was it like? How was it working with them? Was it tough? Like, was it like, okay, son, you're gonna get this right, or you know, you're not gonna eat tonight? You know, how was it? Like, what was the history behind it?
Each of them will tell you different. Grady would tell you that I whooped them into shape. Like, dude, why'd you whoop us like that? Uh, Cheyenne and Jacob and Kirby, I didn't have to lay a hand on them because they just smooth. They're easygoing kids.
Yeah,
Grady and Anthony, which we were mostly like brothers. So, you know, they they were good learners. I hard on them at the beginning. Yes, I was. Now they look back and say, "Thank you, Pop. We're making a living because you taught us how to do this."
that's right.
So, but it's just it was so fun, and it still is when we sing together on stage. It's just fun when we all get together and sing. Like if we have family day, we'll get all together, and you know they always Dad. I'm like, come on, man, let's sing together. That's what we do. So we'll sing
Wow.
together. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
And so
So it's fun.
Lo Hayes says,
Uh-huh.
not Joe Jackson.
I guess you could say that, Lord.
I'm gonna have to
Oh
mark that
man.
one. I think I'm gonna pin that one, not Joe Jackson. I love it. And
Yeah,
so, for any of
yeah.
you viewers that are on here, please ask questions. You know, I'm reading your comments. So, if there's anything you would like to ask Mr. Grady, you know, just put it in that comment section, and I'll make sure I catch it for you. And so, tell me a little bit about your music and albums. Like, what have you produced? Are you working on anything new? Like, tell the viewers, like, what's your next steps, your next albums or songs?
You know, with the recording, Katina, I don't even like to talk about that because
Yeah,
everybody's recording these days.
yeah,
It's like
everybody.
it's no big deal about recording to me. I mean, I'm just speaking for me, not other artists. Because
Yeah,
when I hear people saying, "Oh yeah, I'm recording my album and I'm gonna put this out," and
yeah,
how many people do you hear say that a day? About a
a
thousand.
thousand.
So everybody's recording. So do I record? Yes. But is it a big deal? No.
No.
Probably because I've been doing it so long. And when I did have a big machine, I signed with a big machine, whether it was MCA Records or whether it was RCA Records. You would think that with a big machine like that, and then my song "Sticks and Stones" go to #4 on the R&B charts, and they promise to cross it over to the pop charts, and then you learn the business, the lying, the politics in it, and you learn how other big artists try to shut you down
Yes,
because they see you coming up,
yes.
and you know that's what happens in the business of music. I didn't
Wow.
believe that other big artists would try to shut me down, but you know I got it from word of mouth that that's what happened to my recording career. But I don't I don't trust the recording career. I just go out and do what I know that I can make money on. And I count my money, and then I can sell my merchandising after the show. That all goes in my pocket. With the record companies, you don't know what they do.
What they're
And
doing. Absolutely.
yes, but what is good now that people can own their own music now. They can put it out themselves. Um, and like Jake and Papa are putting their stuff out, and so many other young artists. That's a good thing. But when you sign with a company, oh my goodness, that ain't good.
It's almost like your tag, not to sound like you're branded or anything, but it's almost sound like your tag. Like, you know, your rights is somewhat your rights, but you know, when you sign to a record label company, it's more of the industry of, you know, this is what we're going to set, this is what you can do, and this is what we need for
They
you to
own
do.
you.
They own you, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I was with RCA and I dropped those two albums, and you don't know that everything they spend on you, you got to pay that back. Um, and
Right.
they really, record companies, they're not to be trusted at all.
Well, you know,
Do
they're
your
kind
homework.
of declining in
I
this
know.
business too. Have you
That
noticed that?
exactly. That
Yeah.
that is that's great. That's
Yeah.
great because people own their own stuff now.
Yeah.
You don't got to be a slave to the record company no more. So the young kids, they know what's happening. They record their stuff right in their bedroom, and they put it out digitally. But that digital stuff, you still, who's counting that? You got to get 1 billion views to make a
To
dollar.
make $1.35, and I'm with you on that
Yeah.
one. That's why I would never sign with the company. I was talking
Yeah.
on another show the other day that I would never do that because I like,
Yeah.
not that I want control of it, but from what I'm seeing, and I'm an old soul, and so what I'm seeing out here is, I'm like, whoa, that don't even sound right. And musically, like cognitively, financially inclined, you're looking like you make $1.12 off of 1 billion views or 34 cents off of
Right.
Instagram. What the, what is
You
this?
know, it's a
It's
joke.
crazy.
So putting music out right now is not at the top of my priority list. I just,
Right.
a friend of mine called me the other day, a reputable songwriter. His name is Preston Glass, and he's putting an album out, a tribute to Stevie Wonder.
Oh,
So I love him.
oh
He,
my
he's
gosh.
one of my spiritual brothers, and he's written for Whitney Houston and everybody. Preston Glass is one of the biggest songwriters. Him and Narda Michael Walden did stuff together. And
Yeah.
we're friends. He called me 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Said, hey man, I want you to do this Stevie Wonder remake. I'm doing a tribute album for Stevie. Well, I do that. And I
Yeah.
went in and did the vocals in like 3 hours and then sent the vocal stem to him and do what you want
And
with
do
it.
what you want with it. Right.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
don't worry about being number one on the charts anymore. That was worrisome. I would, man, when my first album for RCA came out, I was always at the stand the magazine stand, trying to buy um, the Billboard magazine to see how,
yeah.
and Six Stones rose fast.
Right.
It's just that worldly view of, I could care less about that now. No
Absolutely,
way.
absolutely. And
You know?
so one of the comments is your skills is in singing, and that's what people want to hear, not all the crap that's out there like the AI stuff. Absolutely. You can spin an AI and make anything. I've seen
Yeah.
it, even in my music career. I'm like, that don't even sound right. I mean, it's great, but people want to
Yeah.
hear that original. I follow a art, someone, and
Yeah.
it's like they want to hear that real live music. They want to see the dancing, the singing,
Yes.
they want to see the
And if you
heart,
get
the
a hit
heart of
record,
it.
right, if you get a hit record and you can't go on stage and perform your hit record and give them entertainment movements and
Yeah,
stuff like that, well, you won't get them coming back to pay more money to see you in concert.
that's right.
So you have to learn how to sing and dance and stuff like that. Go get dancing dance. I took jazz, modern dance, all that.
Oh,
All that kind of
jazz,
stuff I
that's
took
my
back in the day.
favorite. Yeah,
Yeah, because you had to do it. Michael had us doing all that.
I
Michael
know,
was
right?
Michael Jackson. Well, he had us all going to the dance studio.
That's right. He was like,
Yeah.
if we can't be nowhere close to what he's doing, we got to at least act like we
Oh,
can.
talking about upping your game.
You
That's
got
what
to
he
up
was,
it.
Yeah.
And one of the questions was, what was the greatest achievement musically in your career?
I would say, because people judge it by charts and stuff.
Yes,
How,
yes,
so there were two that came right to my mind. Sticks and Stones went to number 4. And I
right.
tell you, to be recognized by your peers everywhere I went, they're like, whether it was Final Wine, that you the next one. Whether it was Aaron Hall from Guy, Teddy Wright, Grady, your vocals are like, just to hear that from my peers is crazy and more, So that was beautiful. But working with Stevie Wonder
Oh,
on my first album, we could do 2 tunes. This is somebody I grew up listening to.
yeah,
So Andre Cleveland got Stevie okay to do 2 tunes, and they're on YouTube. One's called If Ever, and
yeah.
the other one I did a duet with Tyler Collins called You and Me. Stevie, just being in the studio next to him, just me and him, it was surreal. It's a dream come true.
Wow.
Those 2 things, working with a legend like him, was crazy.
And you've seen the grades, you've been with the grades, and here you are still today, just as humble, as if you started like the new kid on the block, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the
And
questions.
one other thing a
Mhm.
lot of people don't know, talking about the grace. When my career kind of took a slump, talking about humility, I went on the road with, first of all, Vesta Williams, singing background with her.
Uh-huh.
That was great. But then I went on the road with Miss Patty for like 8 months, Patty LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle. Oh
That
my
was,
God.
that was I mean, meeting all the big artists, and
Uh,
then I was a part of the dance band. Wanna see you whipping, don't think you right. That was
yes.
great doing with them in that we was on the shows with the Gap Band, Roger Troutman and Zap, Atlantic Star, and so I mean, just meeting all those people I grew up listening to, just being a part of the dance band. Shout out to Bobby Harris. It was crazy, and being on the road with Patti LaBelle over in Europe doing the North Sea Jazz Festival and meeting James Taylor and James Brown and Al Jarreau, all those
That's
people.
crazy.
Oh my goodness, it was. I
Oh
mean, Miss
my
Patty is
God. She's, you know what, they're, you know,
quintessential. Yeah,
yeah, her
and
and Michael, you know, I'm sorry, they just shut it down for a lot of things.
yeah,
So that there's nothing else I can speak on it about them. They're just legend. They're iconic.
yeah.
They're very iconic. And so if there was one person from one of the chats, what artist would you love to collaborate with right now today?
What artist? Bruno Mars.
Ah, tell me why. Tell us why. Why?
My
What's the connection?
my sister's always saying, Judy, that's your son. Everybody look like me. It's my son, right? My sister Tracy. But because Bruno's got that vibe like me, and and his voice and mine are kind of like similar when we sing on our nationals.
Yeah.
So we could do a wonderful duet together. Bruno, I would love to do one with Chris Brown. I mean, that new album is nice. And Mario.
Mario.
Woo! See, I like them young cats.
Yeah.
Mario's new album, I cannot stop listening to it.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Just
It is
that voice
crazy.
is so soulful. So those three are at the top of my list.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And so when you look at
Yeah.
connections,
And my girl Brandy. I would love to do something with Brandy because she's family. She used to go with my son Anthony when they were kids. 2 years old.
what?
Oh yeah, she was always at the house. Her and Ray J. I mean, Brandy is. If you look at her album,
Yes.
the first album,
Yes.
the back of it, we were so close. She thanked us all of them. Big Grady, Little Grady, Anthony, Terry. We were all like family. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. And so with your style, so let me ask you this. So with your style, so when you look at the Bruno Mars, Chris Browns and the Brandys and Marios and other ones,
Uh-huh.
and you look at your style and who you are as an artist, actually a legend. I call you a legend. You know, you may look at it like, yeah, I took a slam, yeah, but anyway, you're out there, you're making this thing happen. You're innovative, and what you bring. And I'm gonna say it like this: when you talk about Michael Jackson and you talk about Patti LaBelle and you talk about all the greats, you work with them, you've been around them, you've seen it all. But when you look at yourself, you know, as a person that's out there doing it, even if it's a tribute to whoever, if you look at, like, if I'm looking on the outside in and I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the grades, you're there. And so when you look at this and I'm just like, gosh, this man is like phenomenal. Oh my God, like what is it? And you're still out here doing these things. How does that connect with you when you're looking at, you know, Bruno Mars and the Chris Browns? Like, how do you see yourself fit into this circle of the new and, you know, upcoming artists?
Well, you know, Bruno, he reaches back. Um, Case in point, when he did that Anderson Paak out,
Yes.
they did a
Leave the
duet
door open.
remake of yes. So he knows they know how to get the baddest music that ever came out in the '70s.
Yeah.
They know that. They ain't doing nothing we ain't heard.
No,
I mean, it's just the beats change.
that's
That's
right.
what Quincy said. Quincy said something that I never forget. The beats change, but the melodies and stuff, the notes never change.
That's right.
That beat changes though. So I'm so happy I grew up in an era where, it was just all kind of different, all coming all out of the place. So I can keep up with them youngsters vocally. I know I can, because I'm steady learning, Katina.
Right.
And so I could teach them a thing or two. It's just like, but I like their vibe. I love the work ethic of Chris and Bruno.
Right.
And my dude Mario. It's like those guys are like, I love them cats.
Wow. But I tell you, Brandy,
I can
though.
add something too.
Right.
Yeah, Brandy.
And well, so what I like about her, and it's something with like her style and her voice, and she's unique. She's got that old school kind of twist with that up and
Yeah,
coming like sensual vibe that when she puts
yeah.
it all in together, it's like you
It's
can't
that
stop
air.
listening
She's got
to
that
it. Gosh.
that air. Oh my God, the
Yes.
air is so pretty and
Yes.
sexy. It's like less is more. For Grady, it's like airy. Then she's got those little gospel runs in there
Yes.
that's so beautiful. But she ain't no belter, not like a CC Winans or
Right.
Aretha.
Right.
But what Brandy got is so special. And we all saw it when she was a little girl. It's like, it's a wonderful thing. I'd love to do a
Wow.
duet with Brandy.
Wow. Have you reached out to her?
No, because I don't want to. This business is so fake.
Yeah.
These fake people. When you ain't, and not that they're fake,
Yeah.
but I don't want to reach out to anybody because I could care less.
Yeah.
It would be a dream come true,
Yeah.
but usually things come to me. It's very seldom that I have to reach out to anybody.
Wow.
My whole life, really, I'm not just bragging about this, but reaching out to somebody never works. Like when I lost my deal with um, RCA Records. Uh, I tried to reach out to people I went to high school with, i.e. Benny Medina, Lowell Silas. We went to junior high school together. So I'm like, hey man, I need a deal. This was back in 90s, 80s,
Yeah.
90s. And you think they call me back? No. So that's how people are. I get it.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy. Everybody's trying to keep their own
Right.
vibe
Right.
up. And so I don't want to get on their bandwagon. Go and enjoy your vibe.
Right. Right. Well,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, that time will come, because the thing about it is that everybody's always looking for something new, something fresh. And what I'm seeing now, correct me if I'm wrong, you've been in this business way more than I have. The newer artists, is from what I'm seeing, they are bringing that old school back into their twist. Do you think that's shaping like who you are as a legend? Like, they're taking our old school songs or whatever it may be, and then it's like bringing it back. So does that pull you guys back up into that status of like, okay, they remember this song from the new artist, so they're getting a piece of me, and so then it kind of
Mm-hmm.
refreshes back into the fans' mind. Do you think that's kind of helping some of the older artists get their stuff back out there, heard and seen?
I think maybe, but I never look at it like that. I
Yeah.
just look at it like that somebody influenced them.
Right.
Whether it was Michael, whether it was Al Green, whether it was Teddy Pendergrass, somebody influences everybody. As King Solomon said, there's nothing new under the sun. You can make yourself think that you're creating something new, but that's
Yeah.
just arrogant.
That's right.
So it's like I started off trying to be like Smokey, literally. And you can still hear it in my voice. Every time I open my mouth, you can hear Smokey, you can hear Michael, you can hear Sam, all of that stuff, Jackie. So it's just people doing what they're doing. And I look, make your money for your family,
That's right.
and Brandy, and that's all it's about right now. I
Yeah.
don't want to be famous. I don't want nobody idolizing me and saying, "Oh, got it." No, could you imagine going out and not being able to walk in the store? That's
Right.
crazy.
Right.
I couldn't
Right.
live that kind of life. So I don't I don't want that anymore for myself. I want to perform for people and see right away
Yeah.
they're smiling and they go home happy. And I pay my rent.
That's
And that's
right.
all I want to do.
That's right.
So the
Wow.
young people are still young. They want to be they want what I used to want. So
Yeah.
how can I knock them for that?
Yeah.
But with that comes that other evil part of the business. That fame, oh man.
You know what? And I'm gonna speak on this, and you tell me if I'm wrong. So when you do have, like you say, each in their own, but when you do have that mindset and you're not mentally ready
Mm,
for that, that shapes you into a whole different person. And
mm,
sometimes it can either help you, which sometimes it don't, and sometimes it can bring you down
mm.
faster than you thought. I hear a lot of that too. That some of the
And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna bring you down
yeah,
because you got
yeah,
people, the yes men, the yes that, and all they want to do, the hangers on. They want to be around you for that pay.
that's right.
And who can you trust? Nobody in
Nobody,
this business.
nobody.
So they want to separate you from the people, your family, and then you distance yourself from your family little by little. the ones who love you,
That's
and
right.
then you stuck with somebody who's just making money off you. I don't want to be like that because when I had money, now that I'm older, I think about the people that used to probably lay in their beds and try to think about how to separate me from my wallet. I would get the
Wow.
people would come to me with the weirdest stories, and I would give them money, and I don't regret that.
Oh,
And
wow.
now I know. Oh yeah, now I know. So that's why I wouldn't reach out to nobody because everybody else is reaching out to them.
Right.
Ain't no way I'm gonna reach out to Brandy or nobody else.
Yeah.
Jehovah's taking care of me. That's
That's
who I reach
right.
out to.
Wow.
Yeah, help me pay the rent, Father, this month. Then gigs will come,
That's right.
and then I'll give back to the to the funds
And
and the witness
and
fund. So,
and what someone just said, and this is the truth, the big I think his
mm-hmm,
big I is a Texan at heart,
mm-hmm,
humility at its finest. So when you know where you are in this world and you don't let anybody waver who you are as a person,
mm-hmm,
the great things will always come to you, point blank. So I love your mindset. I love how you're bringing that innovation and you're keeping it real. And you're keeping it real to the fact that you're not allowing anyone to persuade, to convince. You're doing your own thing out here. And no matter what
yeah,
everybody else is doing in this world, you're keeping it real. And that's what we like to see and what we want to hear because you know what? A fan would rather see somebody keeping it real and honest on that stage than someone out there just to be out there doing their thing and like, oh, I love my fans. And then at the end, they
mm-hmm,
have no respect for them at all. So, you
yeah.
know what? I applaud you for that. And I'm going to always
Thank
applaud you
you,
for that.
thank you,
It
thank
means a
you. I
lot. It
appreciate
means a lot.
it. That's my. I can only say that that's my spiritual foundation as one of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah,
It keeps me human.
that's
It
right.
keeps me because you know the Bible says that Jehovah is a jealous God. I don't want nobody idolizing me when they're supposed to be idolizing
Amazing.
him. Even his son Jesus said, "My Father is greater than I am." Idolize him, pray
That's
to him.
right.
So that keeps you foundation because I mean, could you imagine somebody just falling out over you everywhere you go? What must that do to the human frame of mind?
Mine.
Even even I got kind of sidetracked because it gets hard. I'm gonna tell you, all the young people that's listening, especially if you're a male, you get girls who are coming out the woodwork. And I know
Yes.
you know this, and everybody knows. They're
Yes.
waiting backstage, and you can choose whichever one you want. That right there can get you in a whole lot of trouble with him up there because, you know, it's a strict disciplinary lifestyle you
Yeah.
must live by to do the things pleasing to him. And all that having sex with a gang of girls don't come with it.
No, it
So
doesn't.
that's hard. And then it makes you treat women different.
That's right.
When you get out there
No
and a
respect.
man, you don't respect him.
Yeah.
And then you'll get married to a girl and you wonder, what and you get into the lifestyle, it's like a drug. That sex is like a drug,
Mm.
and it messes you up, literally. I mean, this ain't nothing new. You read all the old artists, all the old artists back in the day. They, all the womanizing, all
Uh,
the stuff like that. It messes you up in the mind, and it's hard to get back on track
that's
to
right.
be that person, to be settled down with one woman, marry her, so you can be legal in God's
That's
eyes,
right.
and be faithful to her.
Right.
That if you come from a background like I did, it's hard. And you look back on your life and you say, how could I have hurt her like that? How did
Yeah.
I do that? But it's too late. The damage has already been done.
That's right.
That's what this business will do for you.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yep.
Wow. You know what? And you know what? And I'm going to say, but the viewers need to hear this. Don't put it in file Z, put it at the top of your forefront because, like you said, in order for, artists or whoever to respect the game, and I call it respect the game, you got to be true within
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And so if like you said back then, if this is the habits that you kept, and God forgives, everybody make mistakes. We get it,
Yeah.
but learning from those mistakes, like you said, and understanding that, what it used to be is not what you're going to continue to be, because at the end, when you lay your head down and before we lay our heads down to rest completely, what is that going to look like, when it's your judgment day? What is that going to
Yeah.
look like?
Mm. Right.
Wow.
It's a real rocky road in this business,
Yeah.
and you get with you living it. You think you can get away with living that lifestyle.
No.
You got girls that'll set you up. You'll
Yep.
be in the court of law. I see
Yep.
it all the time. I know
All
I'm
the
in the industry
time.
too. So
Or if
you
they're,
really have, yeah,
yeah.
you gotta live a quiet life
Yes.
now. You
Yeah.
can't be, because social media ain't nothing nice.
No, it's
You
not.
put yourself,
Oh,
you
me.
put
Trust
yourself on
me.
blast like that, you will
Yeah.
be done.
Yes.
So
And it's a
you pay your
shame.
fees.
But you know what? It's a shame that you have to, so let's take it back to our era because I'm older, so I'm right there almost where you are. And when you look at, like you said, we didn't have all of that back then, right? So we didn't have all the social media and things like that. And so, like, for example, relationships, just like, oh, this person did this person and it was done. You get on Instagram now and if they ever had a thought, if you connected with someone, you got all the trollers, all the women, all the men, and it's like, wow, you can't even represent who you are as a person because of all the other garbage that's out there on Instagram, or people, coming to you, making act, that's my man, this is my man, it's unreal out there. And so you said it best. You
Yeah.
just
And
gotta,
some people love all the attention.
yeah, I
They're
see.
attention seekers. Now
Yes.
me, I grew up to do only this, singing and dancing. I will post my videos because it gets me more work.
Yeah.
But I think now the attention is not on me like that. And I don't want a lot of attention like that. I just want to do my job. And people, it really, really, everybody wants to be liked and
Yeah.
loved.
Right.
If you say you don't, but to be worshipped and all that,
Yeah.
I appreciate when people say, Grady, I love your drive, the way you perform on stage. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I made you happy tonight. Bye-bye now. And that's it.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Because if you give, and it comes back to that connection of if you give, if you true to yourself and you give, for example, you're a man. So if you give a woman that inch of that you have something connected there, they're going to run with it. I don't care who you are. And just think about thousands of fans coming to you and, respectively, if you have a girlfriend or whatever. And, they're, oh, Grady said I was the best looking person in the world, and mentally that just messes up. Like, it just turns people, and people don't understand this. As an artist or a person or a human being, I don't care if people believe it or not, it's always in somebody's forefront, really, who are you? Because some people will believe that garbage, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
who are you? Is that really true? And that's when you get all
Right.
the paparazzis. And so you're right. Do your work and go home.
Right. And a lot of entertainers, they unfortunately they fall in that bag,
Yeah.
and they get arrogant.
Yeah.
They think that
Everybody wants them.
Yeah, like give me a break.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't say anything, but I run across that all the time.
Yeah.
Who do you really think you are? You ain't nobody because you can sing. Give me a break, dude. You gotta answer. You gotta answer to somebody.
Somebody. And you know what? And I don't know if you want that answer to be either the good one or the bad one. You make your
Yep.
choice. You made your bed. You sleep in it. So someone asked
Right.
me, "Will this be on Instagram?" Posted. Yes, it will. And then also love this candid raw conversation. It's real, and people don't want to hear the edited versions of. If we're talking about music and innovation, you're giving us real live history of where you started,
Mm-hmm.
how you began, and how you're working your way through this industry. And people like us want to hear the good and the bad and what's out there. Because people like me, like, I want to hear, like, man, some of these artists, they're just like egos and things like that. People want to know what's out there. So if you're a new artist and you're naive to this industry, and you're walking out there and say, Joe Smo record company, yeah, we can give you all of this. They want to hear somebody that's lived and learned this, and that's you, or other, artists, or people that I
Right.
interview. They want to hear, what am I stepping into when I get out here in
Right.
this world? They don't want the edited version of, oh, it's going to be great. Just have somebody sign you and you can make lots of money. They don't want to hear that, because if you are a real person of God or whoever you honor, You're going to show
Yep.
people this is what it's like. You know, there's no edit version to this business, you know, whether you like the conversation of like, I don't like what they say. You know, they said that it's bad out there, but some people really do want to hear what's out there. They really want to hear that part, you know, and so, you know, thank you for sharing that because a lot of people don't get that. And that's what society needs right now. We don't need all the news that's got all the other politics and stuff that's not the real news. You know, we're getting it from people like you that's been in this business. And it's amazing. And I'm grateful for you sharing that with us. It's surreal, actually. And then one person said, that's why I told my wife that if I ever come into money, I'm keeping her on lock. She was with me, loved me at my poorest, and I'm going to make her a happy wife till the system comes to the end. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Yep.
I
That's
like
right.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And
Incredible.
so tell me, how do you, so when you're on stage, like take us through, like when you're on stage, and this is what I wanted to know from the beginning, because I love to like understand the human mind and like when you're on that stage and you're dancing and you're singing and you know you got all these fans out there watching you, you know, take us through a journey in your mind, like the emotions and the connection, like how do you feel like when you're out there entertaining?
You know, oh wow, that question is so incredible because right then you made me picture myself on stage.
Oh,
And for me as an artist, I'm looking at everybody's eyes.
oh,
This is what you do. What you're feeling the crowd. You're glancing around the room.
yeah,
Then when you see him, if you see him looking literally Katina at you like this, you know, like they're trying to figure out, is he really singing like Jackie? So it's like that's when you know that you're doing something good. Or
wow,
you can tell on a person's face that you're really doing your job, right?
right,
That's where the confidence comes. Then you get a burst of energy from Zion, and you want to just work, work, work. You want to just spin around, and you want to do all that because the crowd gives you energy. I heard every actor I talk to, they say that being on Broadway, right when the crowd is there,
yeah,
gives them energy. It's not like being on a set.
yeah,
And all the great actors want to be on Broadway. And it's the same being in front of a crowd singing. It's just you could read the crowd so well, and it's literally something's going off in your brain, like some endorphins,
yeah,
and it's like a high. That's the only thing
wow,
I can. And then when you get off the stage, you're still up here. No
yeah,
drugs. It's just wow. It's a beautiful feeling.
wow, wow,
It's crazy. And I think that's why a lot of people become addicts in this industry because you could be up here all
right,
night long and they want something to bring them down.
yeah.
But what brings me down is that pillow. And I start snoring. I'm like, okay, let me go on home and go to sleep. It's just, because eventually it'll wear off. You get back to the hotel room, you take a shower, but you still seeing those smiles. I can see those smiles right now in my head. The different ones, and they're like, and they're, even a lot of my shows over in Canada, I want to get down in the audience and walk around, shake their hands and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I do that. And it's beautiful being close to it.
Wow. Wow. And so one said, I'll go back to that question last, but he is a true entertainer. That's because you're a real entertainer. If they're not enjoying it, your job is not done and doing a great job. And then the one question is, when is your next performance? They want to know when is your next like current performance.
Let me see. So, out here in Vegas, that's August 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. We're going to be doing our tribute to the Temptations. That's a wonderful show at South Point Hotel and Casino. And you don't have to pay to park there. Beautiful casino.
Yeah.
South Point Casino. The tickets are only $36.
Oh,
It's in a
wow.
big showroom that seats about 450 people. Beautiful showroom. And that's our next one here in town.
So August 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st?
Yes.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Friday, Saturday. Now,
And after that,
do you have anything on like your Instagram or YouTube or anywhere where they can buy the tickets on the platform or
well, they can go straight to southpointcasino.com, and then just scroll down. You'll see the name of the show is I Can't Get Next to You.
okay.
That's our show.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, we do that. Yep, and Get Next to You. And this will be our third year there. So we'll be there next year too. They already gave us dates for next year. So it's a really nice show. Yeah, and the audience is deep because you hear those Motown shows,
Yeah.
those Motown songs, and you singing
And this
along,
thing,
and
oh my
we're doing the
God.
dance steps like the Temps. We're dressing like the Temps. It's a beautiful
Oh
thing,
my
man. And
gosh.
it's like literally reliving my childhood.
Ugh.
You know, oh my goodness, it's
This
crazy.
is just, this is phenomenal. And so, what are some of the shows that do you have anything that's like, what I'm going to call it, that you do like each month that's there where people actually can see it on the side that like a schedule that you stick to like each month that you do
No, we don't.
shows?
Katina, we don't have a residency now.
Okay.
A producer's working on that because we had a residency when it was Bally's. Now
Okay.
it's the Longhorn Casino, but that residency is really nice. When you have a residency, but they're in talks about another residency for us. But until then, we just keep it moving. Travel here,
Oh,
travel there, and
wow.
no just set place. Not
Yeah,
yet.
right. And so
Yeah.
someone said excellent show and great place sells out every time. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're
it's a great
sold
show.
out.
I can't get next to you with the four Vernon Taylor, Sam Thomas, William Jordan Jr., and D. Levon Sullivan, and myself.
Beautiful. Now, when you go to majority of these shows, are you solo or do you have different artists come in and actually duet with you and things like that?
Well, I did my own show back on I think of July the 18th. It was just me
Okay.
up there. I put a lot of things on my Instagram.
Okay.
I was just doing cover tunes, whether it's Justin Timberlake, the Isley Brothers,
Oh
or
wow.
I just do all kinds of songs. Bruno Mars. I did a lot of different songs of different artists just to show people, oh, I can do the young stuff too
That's
now.
right.
Because
Don't count me out.
fortunately, I still got my vocal range thanks to Jehovah and me exercising. I met
Okay.
Seth Briggs years ago. He taught me those exercises. So, um, yeah, man, I just I haven't done a duet. Well, I was filling in, doing some things here. It's called Motown Brunch, and I did some duets with Ariel Knight and um, and the other girls.
Um,
My friend Tanja Jones put that on. There's Motown Brunch
yes,
every
I saw
Sunday,
that.
Saturday and Sunday. Yep,
I
over at
saw that.
uh, the name of the hotel and casino. Huh.
Someone said,
I forgot.
Come to Cali again."
Yeah, I'll. Yeah, you know what? I'm in talks of doing something in Beverly Hills with this. Herb Alpert owns a place called Vibrato, and I'll
Okay.
let y'all know. My friend who I was singing with last night, Crystal Starr, she's performing this Friday at Vibrato. So I want. It's a classy club. You ever been
Wow.
there?
I have not.
Okay,
I
yeah,
have
it's
not. If you
beautiful.
put it up there, let me know. I will definitely make
I will,
sure.
because I want to go there.
Yeah.
Everybody in LA wants me to come there, but it's got to be the right venue.
Right.
And my dude Julian Miranda said this is the right venue for me. So I'm in talks with doing it right now. I'll let everybody know.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is exciting. And then tell me a little bit about the Tonettes.
Well, the Tonettes, they grew up in the gospel church, and so this is kind of like a new thing for them, even though they've been doing it a long time. But they come up very strict. Marlene O'Neill and my friend, I'm tripping. My mind is Kathy Borges,
Yeah.
and the third girl is Selena Gomez. So it's all three of them. They're phenomenal together. Shout out to all my three fams over in Canada.
Wow.
So they do it all, and so we don't just stick to Motown. They do Aretha. They do, um, man, they do a lot of. We go kind of just like James Brown was never on Motown, but I do a James Brown tribute.
Yeah.
On that. So they do a lot of stuff during that show. It's just so much music on our show together.
Yeah.
And if I'm not there, well, now they're in Nashville visiting. They flew from Canada. No, they drove to Nashville to go to see Elvis Presley's Graceland.
Oh,
So
wow. Right.
Marlene and Kathy are cousins. So they
Okay.
grew up together as kids, and so they're and their husbands. They're all over in Nashville for the whole week, and
Wow.
they're having fun. But they'll be happy you asked about them. They're talented girls,
Oh
you
my
know.
gosh. I seen a few of the posts on your, was it Instagram? Facebook or
Yeah.
Instagram. I'm like, wow. Like just you guys
Mm-hmm.
just together is just it's phenomenal. And then you just
Oh,
solo just bringing it, just bringing it in every show is just amazing. It's
oh
really
yeah, it's a
amazing.
classy show because
Yes.
after the first half, I love if we take an intermission. People go out and buy
Yeah.
drinks or whatever, buy souvenirs, and then we do the other half. I love splitting it up like that, and it's just a beautiful show, man. I love it.
Wow. Tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about the albums you have put out there. I want to hear, and the viewers want to hear a little bit about what you have that you've actually put out there from the past.
Yeah, the very first album I put out was called Moana, and that was on Constellation Records. It was a subsidiary of Solar, ran by Dick Griffey. And
Okay.
I have the tune out. It's on YouTube called Belinda. Belinda, hey, Belinda,
Yeah.
oh Belinda. It's still big in Nigeria. I didn't even know until Jeffrey Daniel, who was living in Nigeria,
Uh-huh.
told me. He said, Grady, they play it every day. And so I put
Wow.
that out back in '83, and it was one of the first videos to ever play on BET when they first started. So then, fast forward to 1988, I worked on my "Come Play with Me" album with RCA Records, and Sticks and Stones came out in January of '89, and then that album, you can find all these albums on YouTube.
YouTube.
Because I
Okay.
don't, only one you can find on iTunes is Moana,
Okay.
Mwana, Moana, which is my middle name in Batiki. My middle name is Baby, Baby Harrell.
Uh,
And in Batiki language, it's Moana. It's beautiful.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Phenomenal.
yeah, and then the next album, yeah, Sticks and Stones video was on YouTube. The fun video from that album is on YouTube. Then my last album with RCA is called Romancing, and that's on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Um, and the only single they released on there before I lost that deal was "Don't Turn Your Back on Me."
Okay.
And yes, all those albums, those three albums you can find them all on YouTube.
All on YouTube. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And so, but you do have YouTube, and then so what are some of the socials you're on? I know you're on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook.
Yes, I'm on Facebook as Grady Harrell. Instagram, I am Grady Harrell. My YouTube page is called, you see all my performances. My YouTube page is called Mellow Face Baby. And
Okay.
then just put Grady Harrell after that. If you
Okay.
just put Mellow Baby, a lot of things pop up. Put Mellow Face Baby, then Grady Harrell. And then you'll go to my page. And I'm always adding videos, uploading videos. So you'll see a lot of old stuff on YouTube that I've done.
Wow. It's an
Yeah.
honor. I'm telling you, it's an honor. And so leaving
Thank
with
you.
the last question. So what would
Yeah.
you tell inspiring artists, right now today? Like what advice would you give them?
I would say um, the recording end of the business is they judge you by your last hit. I think that performing in front of people, whether you do plays, whether you do with a band, if that's your thing, that's me. I grew up in that
Yeah.
era, always working, doing live shows. That's my thing right there.
Yeah.
Um, it that turns into other things. But if you know how to perform, you can do anything. You can do special appearances on TV. You can do
Yeah.
so many things, but you got to know how to command an audience. You have to. So I say, continue to perform to the youngsters, man. You know, continue to learn how to perform. I told my sons that you got to know how to move. You got to know everything. You can't just get out there, sing a song, and be so boring and stale. You don't know how to move. That's a joke. You got to be able to tell a
You,
story with your body.
and dancing, just standing still, you know.
Oh
You
yeah,
look like you
yeah,
said, you look at the Bruno Marses and the Marios and Chris Browns and all of
yeah.
them, like they on one end, and Beyonce's they're on one end to the other, you know.
Right.
And like you
Yeah,
said,
that's how you got to learn how to
yeah,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
stamina. So do you find
And
it, so when you're, and I said last question, but man, you keep bringing in some great stuff. So when you talk about moving the audience in the stage, do you find yourself like, is it more just the energy, the vibe that you're feeling, so you don't feel tired? Do you feel like you got the strength to do it, or do you push yourself to do it?
no, it's the only way I could describe this, Katina, is that there's a fire lit up in me.
Yeah.
And so,
Wow.
and I tell you, but it feels like this. Because when you first get out on the stage and the lights hit, you got butterflies. Like let's hurry up and get on and do this. Like I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah.
And then you finally get out there, and then it starts going with each song, like boom. And at the top of the show, it's just boom. So it grows when you're out there from that first in the lights, and don't let it be a great light show. It's
Right.
like, oh my goodness, it's a drug, a beautiful
Wow.
drug, a musical drug that I cannot describe. You gotta live it, and you can't help but move. It's like, and then after you move so much, you
Yeah.
can just stand there and you can just move just move your hips. It's like
Wow.
you don't even gotta just stand still. Move your hips. It's just so many things to do
Yeah.
besides moving your legs and running back and forth like that. There's so many different movements in the human body that, but that comes from wisdom
Right.
and knowledge of the stage.
Yeah.
And so thankfully I went to that school. So keep
Wow.
doing what you do, youngsters. Don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. Keep learning. Keep, enjoying the music. You don't enjoy it, I enjoy it to this
Yeah.
day, you know? And that's a wonderful thing for me. I love it.
Now that's amazing. And do you find the venues, when you go there, like have you ever had an instance where you went to a venue and was like, yeah, I can't work with this?
No,
Okay.
no. Once you start getting into the rotation of the venues,
Yeah.
you usually know what they are. And if you see one that you don't like, which I haven't even thought that in a long time.
Yeah.
In Canada, I've been in so many different theaters, and all of them are different. Some of them are older,
Yeah.
but it's your job. It's like, I'm going to get out here and do what I do. I don't care if this theater is 80 years old. Some of them are newer and they're more beautiful. The
Yeah.
backstages are so much more beautiful, but the audiences, that's the thing. Forget about the theater. If they
Wow.
come to that show, the audience is the one you want to please. You don't want to
Right.
be pleased by a theater. Like, come on, I'm gonna be 2 hours in this place, maybe 5 because of sound check, eating,
Right.
and then I'm gonna
Right.
do my show, and I ain't gonna see the theater for a long
Make
time.
my money and get out of
So
here.
exactly. So do you like the
I
theater? Who
love it.
cares? I got to get that space. That's the only way I can put it, man. I got to get that space, man. I ain't thinking about that. I ain't got to live in that theater. That's real talk, man. I can't make it more real than that, you know?
Oh my God. You're like, forget it. I don't care if I have to go out here and make believe
Right,
that I like it. Oh my
right.
gosh. This is
Yeah,
awesome. Once
yeah,
again, everybody, please follow this phenomenon, and I will definitely make sure that I get this on Instagram and on my YouTubes and
yeah,
things like that. And I'm going to be following you, tracking you, putting stuff out there. So if you see, something coming on, who put that out there?
yeah,
It's going to be
yeah,
me.
yeah. That's
Because
cool.
that's what I love. I love like getting things out there. What people
Yeah,
respond, who knows? But hopefully, that just keeps bringing the vibes. Just keep bringing that. People just really believing in this industry, in themselves at
mm-hmm.
least anyway. The industry, that's a whole different story. But in
Yeah,
themselves, and like you said, knowing that
yeah,
we can do this. And so,
Yeah.
having you on is just, it's a blessing. And I want to thank you
Thank
once
you.
again.
It's a pleasure talking to you, Katina.
Thank you
And
so much.
I really enjoyed this. I always like talking. I'm a talker, especially when it comes to spiritual things. I can talk your head off, so I don't.
Hey, there's
but the
nothing wrong with
music,
that.
yeah, the music is beautiful, and I'm wishing you the best in
Thank
all
you.
your endeavors too.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank
I'm looking
you.
forward to seeing you more. More of your interviews with other folks.
All right. Hey, and if you can ever do a part two if something major comes, not when just something
Okay.
major comes, but let me know because you still
Okay.
have a lot in your history to unravel. I mean, you talked
Yeah.
about, like from the beginning to the middle to the end, but looking at your track record and all the stuff that
Hmm.
you've done, it's like this,
Yeah.
this right here was almost 2 hours. That's nothing. It's
No.
so much that you can like unwrap of just your history
Right.
and your story is just amazing. Like it's
Yeah.
amazing, and I know a lot
It
of
was
people
crazy
will,
living it. Living
man.
it is like looking back on it. I wrote a book, but I haven't published it yet because it's like I forgot to take all the names out.
Oh,
But I don't know how that is legality, leaving everybody's name in there,
yeah.
but it's very interesting. And I met this young guy named Lee Harris, and he took interest in my story. Shout out to Lee. And he wants to do a documentary on my life because he's like, up and coming singer in his 20s.
Wow.
And I can't believe he's interested in me and doing a documentary on me. I'm like, okay,
What?
let's do it.
Why wouldn't you be? I mean, look at and I know you're saying like I'm humble. I'm here. I just want to do me. But when you look at
Yeah.
your life and just like the history of just not even just you, your family, your kids. You bring
Yeah.
something to the table. With your kids and they've learned from you and you inspire them and like you inspire me. You inspire so other many people. And not only that, you're circling around to these legends that you've actually encountered and did the work with, and you continue
Mm-hmm.
to honor that. And there's nothing more of a blessing than having someone like you to continue to do that. Because this world don't have to do that. People don't. Let me put it this way: there's not a lot of people that do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a true blessing in itself, and so
Yeah.
people like me, we respect you because you don't have to do that. You can go do your
Right.
thing and be like, I'm doing my thing. I don't have to honor anybody. But the musical gift and talents that you have is surreal. I mean, you're
Yeah.
doing so many people's. I mean, you know how to like contribute these people, and it's like, how do you have that gift to like sing like so many people and move like so many people? No, that
Mm.
doesn't come across every day. Somebody may have one genre or one thing, but you've got
Mm-hmm.
so many. I mean, that's a legend to be told.
Yeah, that's crazy how I stumbled into all that. But now, and I'm happy with,
Yeah.
it's like how you're in a movie and you're playing a character.
Yes.
You So that's how it is when I go on stage. I'm playing a character of Jackie Wilson, what I think he would be doing, or Michael,
Wow.
or the other artists that I do. It's like literally that is the most fun. I think that just being Grady, Harrell, had I had a big album and constantly going on tour, just being me,
Yeah.
I'm just so, it's like living a dream now, being other people. And then I just come home
Wow.
and be me. Grady Harrell, the Jehovah's Witness. Then I'll go out and I'll play Sam Cooke, I'll be him, I'll turn
Yeah.
into him,
Yeah.
and I'll turn into Jackie or all those. It's fun. It's just, and
Wow.
doing their music like they recorded. That's crazy.
That's
I love that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're spinning my mind because it's like who does that? But I didn't mention Soul Train. Please touch on a
Yeah,
little bit about Soul Train.
right. Um, so I was one of the, few people who danced on Soul Train and
Yes.
also performed on Soul Train.
Wow.
And our Soul Train family, we still get together and have Soul Train parties. Shout out to
What?
all my Soul Train people who's still here. Yeah, it's so much fun. We get together and and it's just seeing how everybody ages so beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, and they're still dancing. So being on that Soul Train show, which was literally right up the street from my house on La Brea and Sunset, La Brea and I think it was Sunset. Uh, it was at the A&M studios that we
Uh-huh.
recorded. And Saturday and Sunday, we record both days, but 4 shows. So we record 4 shows, you know, it came on every Saturday. So we record 4 shows in 2 days.
Oh,
So
wow.
dancing and meeting all the artists, Katina.
Oh my gosh.
And we're kids. We're like, oh my goodness. You know, I didn't dance on it like the rest of them religiously.
Yeah.
I was pursuing a career of my own. But it's just a party. All I can explain is it was a big party for 2 days.
Wow.
And we would get there like 9 in the morning and then leave till like 8 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So on Saturday and Sunday, it was memories that I tell you, they live in my mind and my heart. And every time I see all the people together, we're reliving our childhood.
That's
at our
amazing.
Soul Train parties. Yep.
Wow. And you know, Soul Train, I used to love that show. I mean, like that it was like
Me
no
too.
other. I loved it.
It was people like us. You could see us
Yes.
performing and
Yeah.
us dancing. Oh, yeah, it was fun.
What was it? Was it tough, like for Soul Train? Because you know, a lot of people wanted to get on. So you know, like it was like back then, Soul Train was like the
know
it.
somebody.
Yeah.
You had to know somebody always. But I started off jumping over the fence. Me and Andre and Daryl Ross and Rusty, Greg Hanley. We all was jumping the fence until we started knowing that Chuck Johnson. Chuck Johnson was rest in peace, Chuck, was the dance coordinator. So he would choose who to go on the risers, and he was doing his documentary of working with Don Cornelius and Dick Grady. And we were all there supporting him. So there's footage of all of us filming. I think we stopped filming about 2 years ago. We just got so much in the can, and I think his wife, Lynn, is going to do something with that footage.
Wow.
We turned it into a story. Chuck had such a story that was crazy. But yeah, we are all, you know, Soul Train. Oh God, we were having so much fun.
This is amazing.
Jeffrey Daniel, Jody Watley, Sharon Hill, Thelma. It's just so many. Lil Joe Chisholm, so many. Demeter Joe Freeman. Yeah. Oh my goodness! All these iconic Soul Train people who I love to this day. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about the documentary that you know is one, you know, in the making, is it going to be like a memoir or a documentary, or are you going to do like, do you have any books that you're looking to kind of bring out in yourself?
Yeah,
you know,
I wrote a book about my life. It's going to be about my life.
Okay.
Just briefly, I told you about it, but there's so much deeper stuff in there. So I let this young guy. I sent him the PDF file of my book, and even my sons, they read it and say, "Pops, this needs to be. It can't be a movie. It's got to be a series about your life, because it's crazy." And I ended my book 25 years ago. My son Grady's like, "Dad, you need to write another book for the next 25 years. Yes. Here." And I'm like, yeah.
No, yeah. He's right, because the steps, you know, what from what I'm just hearing is just like it's exploring me. You know, you got a lot, you know, that people would like to hear and want to know. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. You've been through a history of just yourself and building who you are and your family. So it's an honor. It's definitely an honor. So I just want to thank you once again for being on here, and hopefully another time, a part 2. And I'm definitely looking forward to your schedule, you know, for your upcoming events. So I'll be looking for those. And like I said, I'll be spinning them around, because, you know, you're my inspiration here. So I'll be throwing some things out there and putting, you know, your IGs on my stuff. And I'll definitely send you the clip of this as well. I don't know with the Zoom because I can't see you on Zoom versus Instagram. So I don't know if Instagram will let me, I know they won't let you play the whole thing on Instagram. I think it only does like an hour of Instagram, because it'll say it's too long and then whatever. Right. So I may do clip it and see if I can kind of integrate you here and then the Zoom, and then get it on YouTube as well. But I'll get everything to you. But what an honor. And you know what? Thank you. I salute you for everything that you're doing for us. You're amazing, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for seeing
You're welcome, and thank you to all the viewers. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you soon. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a good one
You
now.
too. Bye bye.